Hi, this is an origin video. I wanted to explain how I came to record and write my thoughts about the subject of isolation. It all started when I wrote an article about isolation after I'd come through a particularly difficult time when I had felt a number of different kinds of isolation. I mostly was feeling mentally and emotionally isolated, but that also led me to be more distant and not around people as much as I was used to. But my isolation really started quite a long time ago when I became injured and I was unable to participate in a lot of the physical activities that I was used to. And over the course of 12 years, I have suffered and continue to suffer from chronic physical pain. That was a loss of community because I was no longer doing a lot of the activities that I was used to. And pain also is a real drain on a person, and you really have to manage the situation. It often takes a lot out of you from an energy standpoint. But a couple of years ago, I lost 2 close family members and then another friend within about 6 months. And a year after that, I had another 3 people that I was friends with pass away. And one of those people was very close to me, and the loss was significant. Coming out of those deaths, I also started to experience, I guess, what probably is natural when a person is struggling, and that was an exodus of friends that I was used to being around. I found that people often don't know what to say to you when you're struggling, and sometimes they just simply seem like they're going away, although they probably just don't want to say or do the wrong thing. So their absence is understandable, but it doesn't make it any less difficult. So for about 6 months, I was going through, I guess, just a progressive departure from my regular life and a regression into myself due to loss and grief and pain that I really couldn't process. And when I got through about 6 months of it, I decided that I wanted to change how I was feeling. So I kind of threw everything I had at it. I decided to, investigate mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual ways to feel better. And I did all of those things. I started doing yoga and workouts. I started going to different kinds of physical therapies. I went to a counselor and started EMDR treatments for the chronic physical pain. I went to a medium. I bought crystals. I did smudging. I got rid of things in my house. I repurposed items in my household. I guess that I just tried everything that I could to try to feel more like myself again. And that was really about investigating all of the different sides of me and how to return more to the center of myself. The reason I really started writing about it, because I never really expected to share my personal journey and feelings with other people outside of my close circle, but the world went into a forced isolation. And I felt like I had already learned some things that could be helpful to other people because I'd gone through the journey and walked that path myself. Now, I know that every single person will need to deal with their own situation and those feelings and that experience in a personal way and find their own way through and their own answers. But I thought if I shared some of my experiences, for one thing, it might make me feel better, but that it might also help somebody. And even if it just helped one person, then it would be worth it. But I also really feel like our lives are a lot of different things. They're the good and the bad, the happy, the sad, and everything in between. And I never want anyone to think that my life is just some perfect picture, Instagram, put on of a life, because there are parts of it that are really great. I travel extensively. I work in a vibrant job and have a great career as a solo entrepreneur working in the entertainment industry. But that doesn't mean I'm exempt from pain or struggle or difficulty or challenges. So I wanted to show that there's balance between the extremely amazing, wonderful things that I experience and feel and get to do, and the realities of still being a regular person who goes through difficult times. So I've created Isolation 101 as a series of posts that are on my website, elancooley.com. And I've also created a series of videos that sort of detail some of the experiences and the stuff that I tried. So I invite you to come along on this journey with me to explore ways out of isolation, ways to feel better, even if it has nothing to do with being isolated. But I really think that isolation applies to a lot of different things. Isolation is the absence of normal and the way that we feel when we are present in our lives, and that there aren't those big obstacles and challenges. But it's things we all go through, and it doesn't have to be forced. It can be just something that happens that we have to deal with. So I will invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to join my community on my website and follow along in my journey. I plan to write about lots of other things along the way, but I do invite you to join me as we explore together the subject of Isolation 101.